Have you ever wondered why some people with average salaries retire rich, while others with huge incomes stay broke? It's not always about how much money you make. It's about how you think about money. Welcome to Book Summary in English, and today we're diving into The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, a book that's not about numbers, charts, or stock tips, but about how your brain messes with your wallet. This book teaches us that being good with money isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about having the right mindset. You'll learn why luck plays a bigger role than you think, how emotions ruin your financial plans, and why doing nothing is sometimes the smartest investment. Think of this video like financial therapy. Simple, relatable, and eye-opening. So before you open another money app or chase the next big trend, sit back, because the way you feel about money might be more powerful than how much of it you actually have. Let's begin with Chapter 1. And Morgan Housel hits us with a truth bomb. No one's crazy, but everyone thinks differently about money. Why? Because we all grow up with different experiences. If you grew up during a financial crisis, you probably see money as something to fear. If you saw your parents invest and win big, you might think money is all about risk and reward. Your beliefs about money are shaped by your past, not just logic. This means a rich investor in New York and a poor farmer in India will think very differently about saving, spending, or investing. And that's not because one is wrong. It's because they've lived different stories. So before you judge someone else's choices, or even your own, remember, we're all just reacting to what life has taught us. The key lesson? Don't blindly follow what others are doing with money. What worked for them may not work for you, and that's okay. Understanding this is the first step to building a healthy money mindset. Morgan Housel reminds us of two powerful forces that affect everyone's financial life: luck and risk. Here's the deal. Sometimes people succeed not because they're smart, but because they were in the right place at the right time. And sometimes people fail not because they were dumb, but because they faced bad luck. Example: Bill Gates became the richest man in the world, partly because he had access to one of the only high school computers in the 1970s. That was luck. But his friend, who was just as smart and hardworking, died in a car crash. That was risk. The lesson? Don't copy successful people blindly. Their path may not be repeatable, and don't shame those who failed. Maybe they just hit a storm they didn't deserve. Money is not fair, and that's okay. What you can do is stay humble when you win, and stay strong when you lose, because in the world of money, luck and risk are always in the room, whether you see them or not. Morgan Housel warns us about something even more dangerous than failure: never feeling like you have enough. He shares the story of a rich man at a party who had everything: money, fame, success. But someone told him, "You may be rich, but you'll never have what the other guy has." Enough. Here's the problem. We often compare ourselves to others. When your friend buys a new car, you want a better one. When someone posts a luxury vacation, you feel behind. But that mindset, it never ends. Housel says, if you don't know when to stop, you'll never be satisfied. Even billionaires fall into this trap, risking it all for just a little more. So what's the solution? Define what enough means to you. Be grateful for what you already have. Avoid chasing money like it's a race. It isn't. Having more money won't make you free, but knowing you already have enough, that's real wealth. Morgan Housel shares a secret weapon that can make enough way more powerful: compounding. Most people think compounding is just about interest on savings, but Housel shows it's much bigger than that. Here's the crazy part. Warren Buffett made over 80% of his $80+ billion after he turned 65. Not because he found a magic stock, but because he started young and kept going. Tiny gains plus time. Massive results. The trick: Compounding doesn't work fast. It's slow, boring. Then, boom, the longer you stay consistent, the more powerful it becomes. But most people mess it up. Why? Because we live in a quick-win world. Everyone wants overnight success, viral videos, or get-rich-quick tricks. But real wealth? It's like growing a tree. Water it daily, and in time it becomes unshakable. So instead of chasing big wins, chase small, smart decisions. Be patient. Stay invested in money, learning, and habits. Compounding rewards the calm, not the clever. So you've started compounding. You're building wealth slowly, but here's the twist. Making money is only half the game. Keeping it is the real challenge. In this chapter, Housel explains that the skills to get rich and the skills to stay rich are very different. To get rich, you need boldness, risk-taking, hustle, and big moves. But to stay rich, you need humility, fear of losing, a mindset of survival. Many people lose their fortune because they never switch gears. They keep playing the risky game even after they've won. Housel says, getting money requires taking risks. Keeping money requires avoiding them. It's not about being overly cautious. It's about respecting the unexpected. Recessions happen. Accidents happen. The future is never guaranteed. So what's the takeaway? Always plan for bad times, even in good times. Stay grounded, even when you're winning. Don't let ego push you to gamble what you can't afford to lose. Wealth isn't built by being perfect. It's built by not screwing up. Morgan Housel drops a wild truth. Most of success comes from a few rare events. These rare moments, called tail events, are those unpredictable, once-in-a-while things that change everything. Example, out of Warren Buffett's 400-plus investments, just 10 made most of his money. Same in real life. A few decisions, a few lucky breaks, a few great ideas. Those are the tails that win big. Here's the big lesson. You don't have to be right all the time. You just need to be right once in a while and make it count. But many people give up after a few failures. They want every move to be a win. Housel says, don't. Instead, expect some failures. Stay in the game long enough to hit a tail win. Protect your downside while swinging for rare upside. Most progress in life and money doesn't come steadily. It comes in spikes. So when good luck shows up, ride it. When bad luck hits, survive it. After understanding risk and rare wins, Housel now gives us the real reason why money matters. Freedom. Not yachts. Not private jets. Not designer clothes. The real wealth is the ability to do what you want. When you want. With whom you want. Every day. Think about it. Even if you're rich but have no control over your time, are you truly wealthy? Housel says, controlling your time is the highest dividend money pays. People who feel trapped in jobs, schedules, or lifestyles they hate often chase more money, thinking it'll fix everything. But real peace comes from owning your time, not your stuff. Money can buy you time, but only if you use it wisely. That could mean saying no to toxic people, choosing flexible work, prioritizing your family over fame. It's not about laziness or quitting the grind. It's about using money to design a life you love waking up to. So, don't just aim to be rich. Aim to be free. Imagine seeing a guy driving a shiny Lamborghini. Your first thought? Wow, I want that car. But do you think, wow, he must be amazing? Probably not. That's the paradox. We buy fancy things hoping people will admire us, but what actually happens is they admire the car, not the person driving it. Morgan Housel calls this the man in the car paradox. It's a mind trick. We think luxury stuff gives us status, but the truth is, most people don't care who owns it. They just want the item for themselves. So if your goal is to impress others with money, you'll never feel satisfied. because nobody is thinking about you as much as you think. Here's the wiser path. Earn respect through kindness, not status. Use money to gain freedom, not attention. Let your lifestyle be quiet, not loud. Housel's point. Real wealth is invisible. It's what you don't see, like savings, peace of mind, or free time. Picture this. A guy walks into a store, drops $10,000 on a Rolex. Everyone notices. But what you don't see? The person who didn't buy the Rolex and quietly invested that $10,000 instead. That person is actually building wealth. Morgan Housel explains that wealth is not about fancy cars or big houses. Those are just signs of spending. True wealth is invisible. It's the money people don't spend. When you see someone living a flashy life, it doesn't always mean they're rich. It often means they've traded their wealth for lifestyle. Meanwhile, real millionaires, they often drive average cars, live in normal neighborhoods, and quietly stack their savings. So what's the lesson? Don't chase what looks rich. Build what is rich. Save more than you spend. Let your money work silently in the background. Being rich is loud. Being wealthy is quiet. Housel's message is clear. The less you show, the more you probably have. Here's a truth bomb. You don't need a high income to become wealthy. You need the habit of saving. Morgan Housel says saving is more about your behavior than your salary. You can earn $500K and stay broke. Or earn $50K and build wealth. If you save consistently, why save? Not just for retirement or emergencies. You save for freedom. Freedom to quit a toxic job. Freedom to take a risk. Freedom to sleep peacefully at night. Housel reminds us, savings is the gap between your ego and your income. If you try to impress people with your spending, you'll always stay in the game of chasing more. But when you live below your means, you gain control. Biggest takeaways, saving isn't boring. It's powerful. You don't need a reason to save, just do it. Building wealth. Spending less than you earn for a long time. No fancy degrees, no big secrets, just discipline and a longer view. When it comes to money, we all wish we could be 100% logical, right? But Morgan Housel flips the script. You don't need to be perfectly rational. You just need to be reasonable. Sounds weird? Let's break it down. Rational means doing the math, running the numbers, and choosing the best financial decision based purely on logic. But here's the problem. We're human. We have emotions, fears, dreams, and experiences. We're not robots. So instead of aiming to be perfectly rational, aim for reasonably smart. For example, paying off a low-interest loan early might not be rational, but it gives you peace of mind. That's reasonable. Keeping some emergency cash instead of investing every rupee? Not optimal, but reasonable. Reasonable decisions are the ones you can stick with long-term. And that's the real game changer. What works on paper doesn't always work in real life. So remember, the best financial strategy is the one you'll actually follow, not the one that looks perfect in a textbook. Let's be honest. Most big financial events, we don't see them coming. That's what this chapter is all about. Surprises. Morgan Housel says the biggest events in history, wars, pandemics, market crashes, were not predicted. So when planning your finances, assume the future will shock you. Build flexibility into your life. Don't try to predict the future. Prepare for it. From here, the book shares a goldmine of short lessons. Always leave space for mistakes. Don't invest like everything will go right. Your goals today might not be your goals 10 years from now. So be flexible. Everything has a price. The price of wealth, patience, discipline, and emotional control. Different people play different money games. What works for someone else may ruin you. Stay in your lane. Bad news grabs attention, but optimism builds wealth. Stay hopeful. In stressful times, we believe wild ideas. Stay grounded. The key to wealth? Save consistently. Be patient. Stay calm. Ignore noise. Even the author admits he doesn't always follow his own advice. That's okay. Be human. Love this summary? Then hit that like, smash subscribe, and share this with someone who needs money wisdom today. This is Book Summary in English, and we're just getting started. Comment below. Which lesson hit you hardest?